YouTube. Every Tuesday evening we start at 9 UK time. We cover all the genres from sci-fi to true crime. Our super cool panel rates the latest releases along with older cool films like The Wild Geese. The Maker Lance is leading the way, along with Lord Toxic, who is possibly gay. Artist Rebel Rose will be holding court, while Lance's cousin Nana will be updating her latest archaeological report. Enzo's still showing Oz crack while eating Mexican food. Love and bastard, he will never be rude. With Inside Man and Blue, call a loser down Ryan's party while Trita Coel commands an army of hairy spiders. Occasional special guests like Retro and Drinker popping in the door. We're an open channel, you all know the score. All other YouTubers are welcome here, so don't be afraid to pull on our ear. Hail the chat, we love you chiming in. You never know what day you might be asked to jump in. Only all you Nielsen rated. Welcome to the Nielsen Ratings 2026, where we talk film and TV with Holy's in the mix. We chat all things actors from Mel Gibson to Ice Cube. There's up at Chef Cube, the forgotten cool film on YouTube. Every Tuesday evening we start at 9 UK time. We cover all the genres from sci-fi to true crime. Our super cool panel rates the latest releases along with older cool films like The Wild Geese. The Wild Geese.
Hey, welcome to the Nielsen Ratings 102. Let me bring in my panel because we're starting a bit late. We're also going to be struggling to get the usual number of views tonight because my Facebook is down. I've got no access to my Facebook at all. And that's also normally where I put the link on about 4 different pages and stuff like that. So that's what reminds people that the show's on. So if you're on my panel tonight and you're waiting to come on, please do a post with the link on Facebook or your other social medias because it will really help. And if you're somebody in the chat who's watching, if you could do the same, I'd be very grateful. Inside Man, how are you liking those new opening titles there?
Do you know what? I think it's so much better than Gary Bolter's voice. I'm sorry, Gary, if you're watching. I think you've been shoved to one side now, mate. But yeah, no, it's great, mate. It's terrific.
That is Gary Bolter's voice, but he's just got a huge spanner wound in on his testicles, and it just kind of went up a few octaves.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe he had a couple of helium balloons there or something.
That's it. Yeah, it was combined. Special new technique. Yeah, no, I wanted to update it all a bit, and so that's quite a bit.
But we still love Gary Bolter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, for sure. Actually, do you know what? I need to probably get a mention of him in there, so I'll have to do a slightly revised version. So, how's your week been? Been good?
Yeah, yes, not been bad, mate. Not been bad at all. Okay, we're only on Tuesday, but since last Tuesday, yeah, okay. Yeah, pretty groovy, as we say in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to get through, so I better bring in more of the panel. I don't know if we're expecting Rachel Percy Art today. I know she's got a lot on her plate at the moment, but I'm hoping that we'll get her at some point. Let's get my regular co-host in, Stupenzo. How's it going?
There's too many people on this show now. We need to go back to 3 or 4 people. Sorry, it's just the way. Or the show needs to start being 3 or 4 hours long. One of the two things needs to happen. I'm doing good. I wanted to come last week and talk about how much I like the Bone Temple, but I woke up like 10 minutes after the show started, and I was like, you know what? I'm going back to sleep. I'm tired. I'm just going to sleep. I figured there's like 8 people on the show anyway. And then, of course, last week there was like 3 people on the show. I feel like everyone took last week off.
Yeah. We had a couple of people.
I think everyone had the same thought. Like, you know what? Lance has got it covered. If I don't show up, there's like going to be 7 other people. It doesn't matter. He's inviting all of his family members and people he met at the bar. And Yeah.
Well, if I invited all my family members, it would just be me because that's it. So yeah, this is my YouTube family.
Isn't your cousin here?
My cousin's here, yeah, but that's very distant. Very distant. My
She's not
cousin
your
is here.
cousin.
Let's welcome my cousin. She's totally my cousin. Absolutely, definitely 100%.
I get it.
Probably. Anna Nielsen's in the house with her archaeological film fact of the week, which we'll be covering later. Good to have you, Anna. Are those pictures satisfactory on the opening titles?
Yeah, sure. I
Are
didn't
you
know
an actual
until last week
archer?
that there would be pictures.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm
he
not
uses
sure
that
quite where
picture of
Lance
my-
mined them from, these photos, but I'm not real anyway. This is my VTuber avatar, so those are AI generated photos.
Maybe because I nicked them pictures from your Facebook. Maybe that's why I've now been
yeah.
suspended from Facebook.
Those photos all have a paid actress in them who is also a bot. So
Right. Okay.
Lance has
All
no
right.
problem sharing that picture of my big meaty ass. So that's
Yeah. Well, neither do you because it's your main timeline profile picture, which is public. So I thought
It is my banner photo, I'll have you know.
Yeah, your banner, your banner bum
Bummer
cheek
photo.
photo.
Yeah.
It works perfect with the lyrics. So you know. Let's talking of big hairy cracks. Critic out here.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome back. And last but by no means least, currently anyway, we also have Lord Toxic in the house.
Yeah.
Rachel did say that she would not be able to attend in all likeliness,
She's not
unfortunately.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. Okay, thank you. Tox, welcome.
Yeah, I don't like the new opening, Lance. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I prefer Gary, obviously.
Okay, well, I'll
it's
Sorry,
just-
Matt, 'cause
I don't like the insinuation that I might possibly be gay when I'm 100% gay. So
we
I was
should
going to
make
say
it-
there's an ambivalence there that really isn't required, is there? You know,
It isn't
it's
required.
An ambiguity, rather.
It's
Yeah.
good that you've gone for the rippling six pack on the on the avatar.
Yeah.
Just to
yeah, you like that? Hey, listen, I also have a confession to make before we get started today, and I feel bad. So you using my likeness and stuff for the opening thing, and not having me correctly, I did report you to Facebook, and that's why your Facebook is shut down
Nice.
right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
So funny
One thing
story,
I-
Lance hit me up and was like, "Yo, I need for the thumbnail tonight. I need True Beauty on Hulu."
Yeah.
What
it's
the
not
hell is
juicy.
that? And I look up True Beauty, and it's like some K-pop high school drama. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I think he means The Beauty with.
Yeah, he meant the other thing.
I did.
Okay.
I did mean the other thing.
I
Good to
did
see we've
not
got-
watch True Beauty.
We've got some of the regulars in. Yeah. Well, listen. I didn't give any specific homework really. I mentioned a couple.
But this is
things
one of
in
the few times where I did watch the stupid show you're going to talk about. I actually watched that on my own, like without
Well-
any kind of nobody told me to. I just felt like watching it.
Yeah, you did watch Rental Family, and I was going
That too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the other thing. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk
I didn't
about that
even know.
first. Rental Family was on the list for last week, and I knew that.
Where's this list? Lance, you got to
There is
tell
no
me this
list.
stuff.
that,
no
well,
list.
that list was 2 weeks before last week. Anyway, so Rental Family was a show that did get mentioned, and I said I was going to watch it, and I had a feeling Enzo would watch it. Enzo and I did both watch it. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but very briefly, it's kind of about an American actor who's working in Japan, who's famous for a certain commercial that made him a lot of money, and he kind of ended up living over there, a bit like when Homer Simpson gets mistaken for that Japanese commercial in the Simpsons.
Mr. Sparkle.
Mr. Sparkle, yeah, he's kind of done a job like Mr. Sparkle, and then
Yes.
he's been out of work.
He was like
for a while.
a toothpaste. It was a toothpaste, right?
Toothpaste. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
been out.
yeah.
He's been out of work for a while, but he gets hired by this agency to play roles in people's families. So he kind of, and then in one particular scenario, he has to pretend to be this girl's long lost dad, and of course, the girl becomes very attached to him, and so on. It's a very cute, family friendly, nice movie that once again proves that Brendan Fraser is actually a pretty damn good actor. I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was just a nice, good, solid movie. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for his acting, 7 out of 10 for the film. It's not especially gripping or dramatic, but it was perfectly pleasant way to spend a couple of hours.
I thought it was good. It was very Japanese in the sense that it's like it's kind of like an anthology where you've got because Eastern style stories, Western style stories have the 3-act structure, whereas Eastern style stories have this kind of character go on a journey and meet a bunch of people and, change and reflect from that journey. Brendan Fraser, he's great. I kind of got the vibes of like Parasite, but like family friendly kind of Parasite style movie, Japanese, very Asian. In fact, that was kind of the whole point of the movie is like, he's getting paid to play people, pretend to be someone in someone's actual life, and he doesn't get it. And that's something they keep saying is like, you wouldn't get it. It's Japanese. We're very about honor, and, we're very horrified by things like shame. But he plays several people when he gets hired. He has like a rotation of like four, like a handful of clients. And there's like this old retired filmmaker who he feels like he's going to be forgotten after he dies and fall into obscurity. And Brendan Fraser is pretending to be this journalist who's doing a interview about him, like a big life encompassing kind of, article. He also plays this kid's dad, which is it's like, hey, this is your estranged father. He's going to help you get into a prestigious private school because I'm a single mother and that is frowned upon. So if your father's there, it looks better. But this isn't really your father, although we're not going to tell you that. It's just, it would definitely play mind games on a small child like this. But yeah, it's a cute movie. It's pretty funny. It's half Japanese, half English. That one actress, that attractive Japanese lady from the stupid Monarch Godzilla shows in it. She's good. She's really good in it. Everyone does a good job in it. But it was a nice little, you guys know I love those Hallmark movies. So
it has got it's got a bit of a Hallmark vibe.
Imagine if Parasite was a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
This is it. Anna, I did you say you've seen this?
Yes, I have.
Give us a quick 2-minute, your 2-minute view on it, and also a rating out of 10. Enzo, is it 7 out of 10 for you as well?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I feel like I'd like it more if I watched it again.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would grant me with more repeat viewing.
This would be like a good, if you really liked it, this would be a good comfort kind of watch. Oh, there's nothing going on. It's raining. I'm gonna get ready to go for bed. Let's put on Rental Family again. Fall asleep to it.
Anna.
Oh, I quite liked it. I thought it was very good. Of course, it did decently well in Japan, if I remember. I loved the framing of a lot of the shots of showing, Brendan Fraser is quite tall, but he's not an enormous man, but just showing him as really big in the setting of Japan, like squished in on a train car, or that scene that screenshot you just showed of him sitting in the back of a light truck, of a KA truck, with his knees up to his chin, of just, he's maybe perhaps a little too big for life in Japan as it's set up. And they were definitely playing with that with the cinematography. I thought that was really fun. And I think it just followed a trend that a number of Japanese movies have lately, pulling on a cultural zeitgeist. There's an increasing recognition in Japan that a lot of people don't have the depth of connections with family members, with friends that they want. There's a big problem that the news has been talking about for a long time of kodokushi, of people dying alone without anyone knowing or finding them even for some time. And it's a real kind of cultural concern, is that a lot of people, they don't have kids or grandkids or even close friends around them.
It's a genuine concern of mine, as it happens.
But loads of people in Japan don't even have like a YouTube community or anything like that. There are so many people who just work and go home and feel really lonely, but don't know where to have an outlet. And so I thought this movie explored those topics really, really well. And I'm curious, has Al seen it? Because he's been to Japan and is going back soon.
I didn't even know it was about Japan. Otherwise, I would possibly remembered to watch it. But I will watch this, and I'll let you go and let you know what I think.
This movie
Okay.
did make me kind of think like, oh, maybe I should move to Japan. I'd do pretty well there. But then I'm like, wait, this movie's basically saying there's like a bunch of these token white dudes who are like in Japan. I'm sure it's filled with like a bunch of like
It's a
American
thing.
weebs. Like, oh, I moved to Japan and learned Japanese because I love anime so much. I'm sure there's like at least 100,000 dudes who are like that in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised.
For sure, but they probably nearly always end up in one of the major cities, I would imagine, rather than the rural villages.
Oh, right. They're all in Tokyo. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, why don't we ask Anna, because she's lived there for some time. Is that true?
Oh, it's absolutely true. I avoid most of those people like the plague because a lot of the foreigners who live long term in Japan are really embittered, really hate it there. Have never learned to speak Japanese. So I speak Japanese all of the time for my work, of course, and so all of my friends are Japanese,
now
and I
you
don't
know
need
how
to
we
interact
Americans
too
feel.
much with the bitter foreigners. But
What do they call
they're
foreigners?
absolutely
Ganji? No.
Gaijin.
What? Gaijin.
gaijin or gaikokujin.
Kaiju.
Gaijin is considered a little rude, so usually gaikokujin.
You are Gaijin. You will never understand.
Foreigner, basically. And it is true. I mean, even if you do live there, even if you naturalize yourself and, learn the language fluently, you will always be Gaikokujin. It's not
Right.
going to change.
And Brendan Fraser's character in this movie makes that known because he's lived there for like 20 years and he still is like, he's telling his boss, like, this is wrong. Like, don't you think you're like playing with people's lives and stuff? And they're basically like, you wouldn't get it, you wide-eyed devil. Shut up and just do your part. Pretend to be this girl's father. It's like,
there is that kind of thing going on, and unfortunately, it only gets exacerbated by tourists that go over there and don't behave. And I saw a certain level of that
behave
myself
badly.
last time I went out there.
Especially now with the nuisance streamers, but even before, before that.
But
even before
especially
that,
the last
you
10
have-
years, there's been discussion
I'm
of,
expecting
like,
it to be
all
quite
foreigners
different
out.
when I go back in May, if I'm being honest. I'll be
I
interested to see, because the last one I went out there was
it's
2
you,
years ago. Sorry?
I don't think that'll be the case for you, though, because, I mean, I've been living and working in Japan for the last 10 years, and part of it has to do with me speaking Japanese as I do, but I've never really been othered or harassed or anything by anyone.
I don't get that. And
I've
I mean,
received nothing but like the best treatment from everyone, but
yeah,
some of it
I
has
was
to do with
I was
me
getting a lot of
saying,
looks
"Do I
because of my
work here?"
tattoos. So my tattoos were getting a lot of attention because obviously tattoos are associated with the Yakuza out there. Nobody really has tattoos. But what I found was that if you can just learn a couple of words beyond the normal, so beyond the sort of arigato and just a few extra words on top, they appreciate it so much. Once they find out you've made an effort, they're so accommodating once that's done. But if you just go over there and expect them to speak English and don't make any effort and don't make the effort to not walk in the middle of the lane for the shrine because that's reserved for the gods and stuff like that, that's how you're going to piss them off, and that's how you're going to give them a bad opinion.
What if I want to go to Japan and sell drugs? That's bad, right? That's frowned upon.
You will be put in jail.
frowned
Japan
upon
has
anywhere,
98% conviction rate, and you will go straight to
know.
jail. They're so
See,
strict about
I want to go to Japan, but my whole thing is like I only want to go to countries where I can smoke pot. If I can't smoke, if I'm going to go to prison for like having a joint or
Smoking is
too
almost
risky.
banned in Japan. There are
It's
areas
too
you can
risky.
smoke, but that's it. Anywhere else you can't smoke.
Like it, eh?
The place, every time I walk around the neighborhood, there's always someone that stinks of fucking weed.
Mate, I could point out the both farms just by walking down my street. It's terrible.
It's Enzo hanging outside your house. I will say as well, I love the use of color in this film, the way they set up shots like this, and it was
It looks like they've caught it in Sakura by the looks of things, which is like the end of March.
Did
Yep,
you
March,
guys?
beginning of April.
Did
But
you
I
guys
just
ever
love the shot
watch?
composition where he's looming over
Yeah.
everyone. He's so tall.
Yeah, this funeral scene at the beginning was funny. Did you guys ever see Enter the Void?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was a good one. But yeah, that guy goes to Japan and he's like a tourist. They're all a bunch of tourists living together. Not tourists, but foreigners. And then he gets killed because he's like selling ecstasy or something by police. And then the whole movie's like, super epileptic.
No, I'd definitely check this out. I like Brendan Fraser as well, so yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna talk about a couple of things really quickly. and speed through. So I saw an Italian film that I thought I'd seen, but hadn't, as it turned out, because I'm doing a freelance job for somebody at the moment, and occasionally I will need to go and Google things, and often that can lead you down a right rabbit hole of, oh really, I didn't know it was linked to that, and then you go to something else, and you go to something else, and you go to something else, and then you're like, oh, what, that event sounds interesting. What films have been made about that? And there was a suspicious event where a high up Italian financier from the Bank of Rome was found hanging by his neck from one of the bridges in London. This was in, I think it was the 1980s, and he had sort of like breeze blocks in his jacket and stuff. And it was deemed a suicide at the time, but subsequent police investigations realised he was in fact murdered, and he was murdered by the mafia. And it was reading about that case, which occurred around the same time as something I was writing about in the biography, that led me to various films on the subject, which included that as a topic. And one of those films is a film from 2008 by the fantastic Paolo Sorrento's awesome Italian director. And it's called El Divo. And this is Il Divo. It's basically the true story of one of Italian's premier / prime minister. And this is the guy who is believed to be linked to, he's the longest surviving prime minister. He's believed to be linked to a number of auspicious activities, shall we say, but he was never jailed for anything. Inside Man, I was, as soon as I put this on this afternoon, I started watching it. I was thinking, I wonder if Gary's seen this. Have you seen it?
I've not actually seen this one. And it's from 2008.
Watch it.
Right. I've got a couple of decades to catch up with.
Yeah,
I'm still about 1976 at the moment.
This is covering all the stuff that took place in the 70s. That's when it's set. So you're
oh my, yeah. I will love it. And it's called Il Divo.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
there's something about it when you're watching it, and again, there's a lot of use of color and all this kind of thing, and it's shot in quite a semi-surreal way, but it still works very much as a traditional narrative. This is the main character played by Tony Stavillo. It almost feels like an opera when you're watching it, and don't get me wrong, it's not in any sense a musical. It is a traditional narrative drama, but it's the way that the music is blended. I don't know if people remember the film Magnolia with Tom Cruise, but if you think about the last 20 minutes of that movie, the way the sequence of shots conjoins with this high power music that's building again and again and again and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This film kind of does that, and does it very successfully, and it's just a really interesting narrative about all the people that are connected to this guy who died, and he was the one that managed to outlive them all. And it's also a really interesting analogy of Italian politics, and it goes right through to the big mafia trial. Remember when they had all the mafia guys in the cages in the courtroom that they specially built for the trial? So it kind of goes right up to that, and it covers that. And it's good. It's very stylish. Won't be for everybody, but this won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival.
Did it? Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised in the least. And incredibly clever movie. And I highly recommend it. I'll give it a 9.
This sounds absolutely right up my street, especially, excuse me, especially if this does sort of start around the years of lead in Italy, because there was a sequence of terrible events in Italy at the time.
Covers. This is the guy who stopped them negotiating with the Red Brigade kidnappers when they kidnapped
Aldemoro,
who was his rival. It was his rival effectively, And there's a whole load of stuff that went on around that, and I've been reading about that all day because it's a fascinating topic.
Oh, it's such an interesting story. The kidnapping of Aldemoro and the Red Brigade and the various other political factions that they were at the time.
Yeah, and there's been about 4 different movies made about
Yeah.
that event as well, which is what led me to this one. So it's a good. But this is a great movie. I highly recommend it to anyone, especially if you enjoy Italian cinema. Yeah, absolutely outstanding piece.
I've literally just written that on my list. So
I'm giving myself also a tight 5 minutes on these. And if anybody else has seen any of the ones that I mentioned, just jump in. So I'll give you a chance to say something about it. Now, did anybody? We talked about this last year when season 1 dropped. I've just finished watching season 2. It's an extremely well-produced series, Hulu, Disney, loosely based on the women's criminal organisation that was nicknamed the 40 Elephants. They were based out of London Bridge, and they basically used to infiltrate highbrow households as maids and butlers and things like that. And they would then go on to, once they'd kind of befriended the owners and gained their trust, they would steal from them. But they also raided the West End shops, and they sort of did it as gangs. And, one person went in dressed as an upper class society person and would distract people by asking for the shop assistant's attention. And then 2 or 3 people would come in and steal everything. That's the true gang. This has about 3 different narratives, one of which is the story of the 40 Elephants. And it's very, very Peaky Blinders. It's that kind of tone. It's the same guy producing it. I think it's Stephen Knight, if I remember rightly. Stars Stephen Graham, of course. The 3 leads are all great in it, but the cast generally is really good. It's not grabbing me I'm not that invested in it. And because the history is hyper stylized, I know I'm seeing a very Hollywood-esque version of the history, but
modern audience version of it.
Yeah, it's not too modern audience. There is some stuff in it that's like, no way would that have happened, but it's not too far down that path. But it is very well done. It is worth watching. Northern, have you seen the 2nd season?
No, I've not even seen the first series. I mean, so soon as I saw the trailers, I thought, yeah, I'm not going to get into this. I really am not.
Has anybody else watched it?
Nope. Afraid not.
No? Okay. I mean, if you like your boxing and that kind of thing, it's worth seeing. One of my drama students is in it, and he actually has a scene in the boxing ring, which was, I saw him today. And funnily enough, his email address has got the word sleeping elephant in it. So when you consider it's the story about the 40 elephants, that's kind of bizarre. But it was really great to see Shaz in this, and he's done about 6 jobs since he came out of my acting school, and it's always crediting me for getting him there, which is very kind of him, perhaps slightly over generous. But it's a good show, period piece. I feel that the ethnic characters in this would have experienced far more racism than the show is depicting, but I understand it's not a show about that, so that's fine. I give it a sort of 7 out of 10. Production design on it is amazing. It looks great. But yeah, I'm just not that emotionally invested in it. But it's perfectly fine. I could have it on in the background while I was working, but I didn't need to pause it. I could carry on working. So, there you go. All right, so that's 1,000 lows. Enzo, what's your first pick for this week?
What did I watch? I know I did watch, like I said, I did watch The Beauty. I have been rewatching All's Fair with Pouty and friends.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk about The Beauty first, because I've also seen that.
Sure.
Give us a very quick synopsis.
All right, so All's Fair. All's Fair. I've been raving about it. It's this Ryan Murphy guy who did American Horror Story and some other garbage. It's so bad. I've been raving about it. It's the worst thing I watched.
You talking about the
Yes.
beauty? You're talking about All's Fair?
No, I'm talking about
about
All's Fair. But then I find out that this guy is making or executive producing this show,
Right.
which I just thought was called Beauty up until like literally 2 days ago. It's actually The Beauty, which is not that great.
And not
but
True Beauty either, which I thought it was.
no. So yeah, it's basically The Substance. It's kind of like The Substance, but if it was a STD. And there's like a virus going around that makes you beautiful, and then you internally combust, and it has something to do with some kind of Death Becomes Her type company where they've developed this kind of serum, and it's gotten out. You know, it's spreading, and they don't want that because they want you to pay a bunch of money to be beautiful forever. But somehow it seems like it has mutated, and it is turning people into these like ticking time bombs, like literally. And these two very worldly international agents who are also sexually active with each other.
Yeah,
they are on the case. And
they're literally on they're on the both on the case and on the case with each other.
And you know, it's so over the top. It looks pretty neat, and it's very violent and very silly. It is enjoyable, whatever the hell it is. But then again, I don't really, and it seems self-aware. Like I said, the fact that Isabella Rossellini's in it, even though she was in Death Becomes Her. It seems to be aware that, yes, it's blatantly kind of ripping off The Substance and Death Becomes Her and a bunch of other stuff. It's not, the fact that it's like wholly not original is making it kind of original, which is interesting. But it's difficult to tell where it's going, but it is very raunchy and over the top. And it's one of these shows that should just be like, why don't you just start making shows that are X-rated, R-rated? Like, oh, we're just going to toe the line, just like All's Fair and a few other things I've been watching where it's going to be so raunchy and so depraved and violent and sex-filled, but because we don't show nipples anywhere, that's okay. But, it's just like, why don't you just go that extra little half of a step and do
it's so noticeable as well. That's the problem, isn't it? Like it shows you everything, and it's so noticeable.
It's very. Show you men's asses. Men's asses, no problem. Yeah, men's ass is showing a lot. But it's also one of those shows that you think that it could just. I don't know. You see, I don't know where it's going. It's fun, and the actors are decent, and there's a lot of global, globe trekking going on in it.
Yeah, it's got a decent budget. It's got a decent cast. I mean, I put one episode of it on last night at about 1:30. Unfortunately, the episodes are only about 30 minutes, about 33 minutes each, I think. And
it could be, it could be. I don't know. Ashton Kutcher is in it, but he's decent so far. He's the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's in it briefly. He's not in it much. There's also an assassin character who's sort of trying to eliminate people, but he's also got an agenda of his own. He's kind of a lot of fun.
Is this one of those shows that could have just been a cool movie? That's the question.
It could have been, yeah. But do you know what? It was a lot of fun, and I was entertained. And this is quite a good show to sort of stick on. I mean, violence and exploding bodies aside, it's quite a good show.
If you like the stupid Resident Evil movies, you'd probably give this a watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell how to rate it, but it is very self-aware of its silliness. That's true, which I think which is in its favor. I give it a 7 out of 10 again. I think worth watching, but you'll know within 20 minutes whether it's for you. You'll know halfway through. Now, I got Critic Al to watch the first episode.
Yes, you did.
What did you think? Because I know you're a horror guy, so I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I more or less just thought it was the substance mixed with Ryan Murphy's kinks. He really does like getting his kinks and his fetishes into his shows. It's very over the top, comedic, zany. It spends far too long focusing on characters that I just don't care about. Of all the things that I needed to see today, a fat man masturbating to climax in the basement wasn't one of them. I presume there is.
I felt you'd be missing out if I didn't.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot at the moment, but obviously you've only watched the first episode, so you know you've seen Nancy Ramos and was it Evan Peters and Rebecca Hall and everything. So, but for me, for a first episode, if it was something that was going to be like, you need to watch more of this, it hasn't achieved its aim. I was not. I didn't end watching the first episode going, wow, I must watch the next one. It was kind of a case of like, well, if there's nothing else to watch, then maybe I'll watch the rest of it to see if it gets better. Some of the angles and stuff are really weird as well, like really up in people's faces, extreme close-ups and all sorts of weird distortion. It's
the kind of the drop shots from the ceilings.
That I think is also what's borrowing from the substance.
Yeah, I mean that was the main influence I got of it. Definitely was just like, if the substance doesn't exist, this doesn't exist.
Yeah, let's close up, kind of like the wide-angle lens that was constantly being used in the 90s.
Kind of. It's more of like you know, like the fisheye kind of lens, right up in people's faces, just to make it look really kind of distorted and weird.
Like Luc Besson.
Yes, yeah, that kind of
like right up in the subject's face. You know,
when it's used to establish that something is off here. You know, I mean, Mission Impossible used it as well, didn't they? In the scene where his boss is suspecting that he may have murdered his team.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, the acting's okay, and you know, it's all okay. But I mean, unfortunately, I made the mistake of watching it right after watching The Kin, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, I presume. So,
okay, Anna, did you see it?
No, I'd not even heard of this.
Because as someone who owns her own youth serum, I thought you'd find it interesting. Okay, all right. Check it out.
You know, I did remember something that I did watch that you guys probably haven't seen yet.
Go for it.
I did watch Marty Supreme.
Oh, the Timothy Chalamet.
It was pretty cool for a movie about a ping pong player. But yeah, I mean, it had a really great soundtrack. Kind of like Primate. I was talking about Primate had this awesome synth soundtrack. Well, it turns out that Marty Supreme is directed by the other Safdie brother, which I didn't realize, because there's Josh and Benny Safdie, and they made Good Time and Uncut Gems together. And then I guess they parted ways, where Benny Safdie did his movie this year. He did The Rock, Smashing Machine. And Josh Safdie, he did Marty Supreme. And I'm realizing that I think, even though Benny Safdie seems to be the one that's getting in, he's got a lot of cameos in a lot of big movies. He's got some funner projects. He seems to be going more mainstream. I'm realizing that I think I like Joshua Safdie better as a filmmaker, because he uses the Onitrix Point Never soundtrack, whatever his name is. The synth soundtrack. He also has this great look. The way he films it, very guerrilla style. And also, there's some like news going around how he uses a lot of like not professional actors in these movies. And one of the things that's great about Marty Supreme was Kevin O'Leary, is that his name? Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He's in this movie, and he's fantastic in it because he's kind of just playing himself. But yeah, the movie's basically in the 50s. There's this kid with this ridiculous dream. He's like a young 20-something-year-old go-getting a little Jewish kid who works at a shoe shop, and he has a dream to be the world championship ping pong player, and he's going to all the... But he's also like very... the whole point is it doesn't matter what he wanted to do. He's one of these guys where he's going to get it by any means necessary. But it's so funny because it's kind of like... It's like saying like, oh, I want to be the world's greatest like YouTube streamer. It's such a stupid idea. Like, what are you doing? You know, and people are just like, come on, you should just be my manager at my bookstore, at my shoe store or whatever you work at, you know? So I thought it was really fun. It's a fun movie. It's very chaotic, just like Uncut Gems. And Good times, a bunch of Jewish people just screaming, hectically running around. Like there's like this ticking clock, the sense of urgency, scrambling to get money together. It's very, very much similar to those movies in that regard. But it was an interesting setting. It was an interesting story. Like the idea, he has this rivalry with this current greatest ping pong player who's this Japanese guy. And the ping pong games themselves are actually really good. Forrest Gump, how you use the computer animated ball. They're just like running. They're just like running and diving and doing all this crazy stuff, getting all sweaty, playing table tennis. And yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow's in it. I don't want to spoil too much of the specifics, but Marty Supreme's not a great guy. He's one of those. Kind of heroes, protagonists, just like in Uncut Gems, kind of like Adam Sandler's character. He's done some unsavory things to get what he wants. He's a little shysty little.
What would you give it out of 10?
Man, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, just because the soundtrack's so cool. And I know Smilex said that he didn't really like the soundtrack because it doesn't fit, because it's all like ambient electronic synth music and 80s songs. But I normally I don't like those kind of anachronisms with soundtracks, like A Knight's Tale, with all the classic rock. I remember being turned off by that. Yeah. But for some reason in this movie, it didn't bother me. In fact, I actually enjoyed it. Maybe it's because it's just the songs themselves. It is a sick soundtrack.
Chalamet for the Oscar, or
no. In fact, that is the one thing, is like he's the executive producer of the movie. He's very. He's very putting himself front and center about it, which he's all right. He's just a scrawny little twerp, and I don't understand why we're trying to, thrust him into leading man sex symbol status. He might be
desperation.
Yeah, he might hang some dong and sleep with some hot models, but on camera, he looks like a little worm.
Needs to eat a hamburger.
He's a little kid. He's a little kid. He'll always be this little boyish little boy.
Did you not hit a twink is so hot right now?
This is Paul Atreides we're talking about here. So, okay,
yeah, I mean, I'll give him credit. He doesn't look like Paul there, and that is
so. He did win me over at the end of those Dune movies when he becomes like the Emperor or whatever it is. I mean, he's just. I feel like they lowered his voice like digitally, like made it deeper.
Like the Klingon in Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, best actor, no. A for effort, though.
Okay. We're going to move on. Rating out of 10 for that, you said 7. Was that right?
I said 8. I think the rule should be 1 out of 10. You can't give anything a 7. No 7s allowed. Because everything's a 7, basically.
Well, no, I gave...
Yeah, it's not IGN here,
I gave the Italian film a 9. Okay, we're going to talk about this quickly. The first 2 episodes of the next Game of Thrones.
Is this out?
Kingdoms, they're out, yeah. Now, I saw the first episode and the jury was out a bit. It was like, I kind of see what they're doing. Tonally, it's very different from the other Game of Thrones shows. It makes it clear this is a small story away from the big halls of political intrigue, kind of set in the outback, sort of like it's almost like a tournament taking place in the Shire kind of thing. There's a great moment in the pilot where you've got the main character who basically is a squire for a famous knight. The famous knight is played by my actor friend Danny Webb, who gets his junk out in episode 2.
I was about to ask, how many penises do you see in the show? I was literally going to ask that.
So far, just the one. Just the one. There's a few buttock shots as well. And it's about the length of that sword in the shot there. But so Danny's in that. So I had a fun conversation with him on the phone yesterday. There's an interview with Danny Webb on the channel for the benefit of people watching. So the jury was out on the first episode. I was kind of like, let's see where this goes. But by the end of the second episode, I was completely sold on it. Because for me, it's them taking a couple of characters. They're taking one of his stories, one of his like, small short stories, and they're having fun with it. And I think because it's free of the constraints of, as I said, the political halls of power and all the machinations that come with that. And this is more of a small story about a guy who's not particularly bright, but he's gonna prove himself in battle, and he's gonna become a knight, and he's gonna prove himself in this tournament, and he's gonna win some money. And this other kid tags along. It's kind of annoying at first, but becomes his squire, and we all know that the kid is far more intelligent than him, and probably actually has an interesting backstory himself. So, but yeah, I liked it. It's very short. Again, everyone seems to be reverting to I think it's an attention span thing. It's like everyone's going, let's do 30 minutes now. These episodes are 30 minutes, but in the pilot episode, before I get diverted again, you think it's just about to go into the Game of Thrones, and it does do that. And then instead of it having a massive opening title sequence for about 2 minutes, it cuts to the main character having a shit behind a tree, but from side on. So you see him taking a dump. And I swear that that's a metaphorical message of someone in this show going, yeah, it's not as shit as the way the last series ended. There's got to be something going on there. But yeah, I thought it was good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Anna's seen it, I think.
Yes.
Both episodes.
And I've also... Oh, go ahead.
You've seen both episodes, yeah?
Yeah, and I've read all 3 of the novellas that it's based on, all 3 of the Duncan Egg stories, and I highly recommend them to everyone, including people who don't read. Each is about 105 pages a piece, and so it's like a 2-hour audiobook if you wanted to listen. And this show has been an extremely faithful adaptation of those. Most of the dialogue, there's been a little bit added to pad things out because, even with 30-minute episodes, how do you get 6 episodes out of a 110-page novella? But most of the dialogue is straight from it, and I understand Al's feelings on George R.R. Martin. Probably a lot of people share them. These are really good stories. I would highly recommend them. They're my favorite of anything he's written. And just one other thing is that the horse work in this show so far has been excellent. And you don't see that so often. This is one where it's really important because they're doing jousting. And modern joust as a sport is definitely a thing. People will do it with fiberglass lances. There's some people who are doing it with solid wood lances, although you don't see that. That's not what they're going to be doing on screen. They had some CGI horses for a couple of the falls, and then they had real horses for a couple of the falls in the second episode where there's that night joust, and then some really good stunts and trick riding. And I've just been really impressed with their horse work so far. And also, how Dunk the character cares for his horses, because it's accurate to how someone who uses horses for their livelihood every day would feel about them. Even, as you have to sell them or you have horses die or things like that, you still really care about them because without them, you're no knight, you're nothing. So I've been really impressed with the horse work so far. Excellent job from the point of view of the filmmakers of doing everything safely, but making it look very, very exciting. And I'm really excited to see the rest of the story in the next 4 episodes.
Fun fact, I was actually sitting next to this guy at a wedding in the 2000s, Daniel Ings. But
Did he have the crown?
No, he didn't have his reindeer helmet on, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I sat. He was on the same table as me, and he was sitting to my right. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Who else on the panel has seen it? Anyone? No.
Didn't even know it was out yet. I've seen it advertised, but there's been other programs I've been watching, which I will get to later.
I saw people talking about it, but as I said, I'm being stubborn. I'm on a George R. R. Martin boycott.
This guy basically speaks with your accent, so
totally distinguished.
You can probably have some fun with that on your channel. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, it's well made. It's like I said, it's a small show, small story, but that's what makes it.
If it's a small self-contained thing, I may well check it out. But I had no interest in getting into like House of Dragons, for example, because he hasn't finished the main bloody story. So if this is a self-contained thing, I may well check it out.
Yeah, fair play. Okay, all right. We've got plenty of other things to get through, so we'll move on. Okay. I don't want to spend. We'll only talk about Star Trek if we've got time. But for the benefit of people watching, do check out Critic Hour's vids on it. He's dropped one for each episode so far. They're doing pretty well. They're getting in the thousands of views. If somebody wants to drop a link to one of those in the chat, please do so. I have seen all 3 episodes of it now, there's we could get into a whole thing, but
the thing is, it's just not worth it, Lance. That's the thing.
I mean, it's
not worth it.
It's just one of those things. It's like, my God, we made way to begin with this.
Just take any sort of any contemporary school drama with kids in it, with like teens in it, and then put a very vague Star Trek skin on it, and that's exactly what you got.
It is Star Trek 90210, with laser tag. Episode 3 is basically a laser tag game about the rivalry between the War College and the Geek College, and there's this really stupid ending where they do this thing where these big alien things spawn in the War College dorm. That definitely would have resulted in several deaths. I mean, if it was any kind of reality, people would have got their necks broken and shit like that. And it just, when I saw that, I was just like, oh, this is like sort of Star Trek meets SpongeBob, isn't it? Like, what's going on?
The kids, do you remember that episode of Star Trek Next Generation where there's a disaster on the ship and Picard is stuck in a turbo lift with the 3 kids?
That's a great episode. That's like
those 3 kids are more mature than the cast of this show.
Yeah, that's like the Poseidon adventure episode.
Yeah,
I think that episode isn't that episode called Disaster. It is
called Disaster. Yeah, Keiko's pregnant. Worf has to deliver the baby. That's absolutely hilarious.
I actually don't mind the Klingon character. I think he's all right.
Not seen enough about him yet. My theory is that each of these characters is going to get an episode explaining their character, essentially, because it's just such a lazy plotting.
We're definitely going to find out the Klingon's gay for sure. I'm certain of it.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I'm not being serious.
Well, we've got one gay couple because the Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid and Tig Notaro's character Jet Reno.
They're a couple.
They're a couple.
I mean, how does that even work from a gynecological, bedroom? It's just.
I shudder to think, but what I will say is that the lady that plays Laura Fock, the hybrid, is such a bad actress that she makes Tig Notaro look absolutely amazing by comparison.
I thought that was Gina Yasher who's playing.
It is Gina Yasher.
You just said it was Laura Fock or something.
No, the character's name is Laura Fock.
Oh, the character's name is Laura Fock.
The actress is Gina. Well, I say actress is a female comedian.
I mean, the thing is, it's like Gina Yasher is predominantly a stand-up comedian.
Yep.
She's not done. She's done a bit of drama.
Mm-hmm.
She's not done loads and loads of drama, and I've never seen her. Now, that's not to say that you can't put a stand-up comedian in a really serious role, and wow, you turn around and they can surprise you, because a lot of them started as actors but then went into comedy because the work wasn't there or whatever.
Yeah, but Tig Notaro, she's famous because she was a struggling, terrible comedian, and then she found out she was like dying of cancer, and then she did this like huge, crazy, what at the time legendary stand-up comedy stream show, which wasn't stand-up comedy. It was basically her just like, just bumming everyone out with this like crazy heavy crap she was dealing with and saying it in a funny way. But like, because of her, like that is why we're getting all these like trauma dumping comedians.
Yeah.
It's just like, shut up.
I mean, the thing is, Tig, some of my favorite moments in this series, and there are moments in this series that feel like character development or feel like Star Trek, like they're teaching a lesson, like they're talking about something deeper than just swearing all the time. After Tig Notaro, where she was speaking to Derham, And she said to him, because he's not got any messages from his parents, she said, look, any message that you have to chase is not from somebody, you know, that's worth reading. And you get these tiny little moments like here and there, but the rest of it is just buried under this obscene comedy. Now, I said that I worked out the problem is basically this is a live action Lower Decks. Now, Lower Decks, if you don't know, is the cartoon, the Rick and Morty style cartoon. Yeah. And I was always fine with that because I wrote that off as a spoof. It's a spoof. It's not real Star Trek. It's like a holodeck program or something like that. It's people pissing about. But this is real life. This is live action, and it's got exactly the same humor. And therefore, it just comes across as extremely un-Star Trek.
The other thing as well is, I mean, traditionally, Trek has had pretty strong actors. And no offense to Tig Notaro, but she can't act for fucking Copley. She's exactly the same in everything she's in. And I'm a director, I work as an acting coach. It's very rare that I'll say that about somebody because it's not a nice statement to make about any actor. But I've seen her in loads of things now, and she's a one-note actor. She can only play one thing. And
I think I've only seen her in this and that zombie film by Zack Snyder. I think those are the only two things I've seen her in.
The helicopter pilot, and that was a reshoot where she took over from someone who was fired.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, she's perfectly fine at doing that role, that kind of myself role, and that can be fine in certain roles. But with a Star Trek iconic character, you kind of need someone who's got a bit more range and depth and whatever. Now, maybe she'll do something amazing, assuming I'm still watching it, down the road. I
do think it's very much material dependent, though, isn't it? I mean, when you're given something that's so terrible, how on earth can you make the best of that?
Well, this is the other thing. Is like, although I don't think Gina She is very good because all she does is shout, and from what I've seen of her interviews, she's not actually acting. She's just Gina She. I don't think any of the kids, as it were, the younger actors are particularly bad. If I'm being
they're all okay. They're all different degrees of okay. And it's just, they can all act. It's just some of their characters are so uninteresting.
It's what they're given to work with, and the characters that they're forced to portray are just really bad.
I like the setup for episode 3, which is it's about the high pressure student who's obviously got the high pressure parents. And he's basically keeping a journal video message thing for them. And it's kind of all, dear mum and dad, here I am in, Camp Starfleet, a bit like that.
He's come from a prestigious family. He needs to. I love that story, Lance, where he was saying that he played the instrument. And while they had to put that thing, the suffering and everything, but he missed one note at a recital that they were.
His parents got up and walked out.
And his parents got up and left. And I was like, my God, that's actual character development. But 2 seconds later, we're back to bloody Little Fock. I don't know, shooting somebody or screaming or shouting or something. It's just, it's a shame. It's a real shame. I think this could have been something good.
No, it couldn't.
It needed to do a lot more. No, you could do a good series about young Starfleet officers.
I could do that. Yeah. I could do it.
Alex Kurtzman.
They can't.
I think the problem with Starfleet Academy, I watched Starfleet Academy. I think the biggest problem is it's just it's very for children. Like it's a bunch of adult children trying to make a show for real children, because the whole point is it's not about making a good Star Trek show. It's about validating any kids who are watching it with current day nonsense. That's
and Alex Kurtzman said that. He said he views Star Trek as just a platform to push a message. But the problem is, Enzo, I wouldn't let my kids watch this. It's full of swearing for a start. Do you know what I was watching when I was 8 years old? Star Trek Next Generation. Anything I didn't understand, my dad explained to me. I don't know who this is for. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, Holly Hunter's definitely my least favourite captain in Trek ever. And I'm not just talking about the main captains. I'm talking about all the captains we've ever seen, including the ones that are in just single episodes. She is at the bottom of the list. And I'm a huge fan of Broadcast News, which is the movie that probably it's not the movie that made her career.
Raising Arizona.
That Raising Arizona came out within a
Oh,
couple
don't
of
forget
years.
David Cronenberg's NC-17 movie Crash. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that film.
She was great in broadcast.
Holly.
Yeah, I mean, I describe this as the Wolf 359 of Star Trek shows as far as disasters go. It's just,
Elastigirl.
yeah, she wasn't she? Yeah. I mean, she's flopping about all over sofas in this like she's Elastigirl. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I get it.
ratings out of 10 for this. If you've seen all 3 episodes so far, which I have, I've got to give it a 4.
Yeah, like a 3. I mean, I don't really.
That's a 3.
I don't know. There's a lot I could talk about the 3 episodes I saw, but I won't.
No.
If you fancy doing a stream on it, let me know because I can rant about this for days.
Yeah. Let's leave it there.
So for instance, like I'm not familiar with Star Trek. I was always more of a Star Wars guy, but because Star Wars is movies, and then the movies started sucking, and then I was like, well, let's start watching Star Trek, and because I did like Next Generation, but Star Trek also started shitting the bed in the Kurtzman era. But the question constantly is which one's worse off. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. But I'm not a big Star Trek nerd, and I was asking about like. The burn. What is the burn? Apparently, Star Trek Discovery World. All the dilithium. All the dilithium in the universe goes inert at the same exact moment for no reason, and it just sends the Federation into chaos. But
it explodes every single starship that's carried because dilithium is used to regulate the antimatter.
Right.
So without dilithium, the ships just blow up.
So it was a big problem, and but Eraserhead put up a good point. He said that because that's the thing is like the people making the show are not as big Star Trek nerds as the people who watch these shows. And Eraserhead brought it to my attention that apparently the Romulans do not use dilithium, and therefore, if we were to do a show like this, we should have a universe, a galaxy where the Romulans are in complete control. They run the show. Like that would be neat.
They use singularities as their power. Yeah, I mean, what I would have done before we get on it too much is I would have done a scenario where the burn. I mean, it wouldn't have been caused the way it was by an alien having a temper tantrum, but when the burn happened, it would have destroyed 95% of all dilithium.
Well,
and then it becomes a commodity and a rare resource that you can put plots around. But
enough Star Trek already. That's it. Okay, fine, good. It's not very good. We're going to move on. Toxic. Got a couple of things you wanted to talk about today. Give me the first one.
I did watch that show that you told me to watch, The Beauty, and I did actually like it. I think it's pretty interesting. And sorry, I had to do PI business here for a little bit. So if you guys already discussed it, then I'm sorry.
We mentioned it earlier, but just give us your view on it very quickly, and then you can tell me about your second thing.
I was surprised that it was pretty interesting. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I don't want to give too much away. Some of the stuff that it goes in one direction. Kind of does a little bit of a shift. I got like a little bit of maybe because it is kind of FX Hulu. I got Nip Tuck vibes from it.
I thought you got Nip Cut while you were watching the show. That was something that happened, but
right. But yeah, no, pretty interesting. I forget the name of the main guy. I forget his name, but he's in a lot of the American Horror Story.
Evans Peters.
Evans Peters.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I liked him. I like where it's going. I wound up actually. You told me just to watch an episode. I wound up watching like 3. So kind of just put it on and was like, oh, okay.
Same thing. I watched all 3 really quickly.
Yeah.
Is Killer Heat the second thing you wanted to mention?
It is. Yeah. So last night, waiting for the girlfriend to get off work so she could come up and hang out with me, and we could, hang out. I was kind of killing some time looking through Prime, and decided to get rid of my Prime because somebody on TikTok pointed out, they were like, hey, I have this Amazon Prime, and what's the point of having it if the fact that you still got to wait all these weeks, and like I had to wait 2 months to get 30 copies of my own book. So and I've just like everything I've ordered is taking forever. I went ahead and ordered the girlfriend's I won't say what it is, but it's a present for Valentine's Day. I had to order it 2 weeks ago, and it's barely going to get here on time.
Does it require batteries by any chance?
It doesn't, you freaking pervert. No, it's
Mate, they're all charging these.
I was going to say they're all USB-C these days. It's fine.
USB-C, yeah.
Stop it, you guys. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm like, well, I only got this for another week or so, so let me just scroll around, and I found Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Shailene Woodley, and it's a PI movie, and based on a book, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And I watched it, and I was really surprised. The guy from Game of Thrones is in it, playing twins. There's like a murder mystery. Shailene Woodley is femme fatale. Listen. I mean, people could say what they want about her failed, young adult novel career, but I think she's just a freaking bombshell. I love watching everything that she's in. I really liked watching Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That last picture, that was not from this movie. That was from fucking Beverly Hills Cop 3 or Beverly Hills Cop Revival or whatever it was. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt, pretty good, playing like this shaggy, detached, alcoholic PI. I was very surprised at that. And I found it to be pretty entertaining. It's got a pretty good twist, and kept me involved. I mean, you know me, I'm a sucker for anything PI related. If it takes itself seriously, and maybe sometimes if it doesn't. But yeah, it's pretty good, and I liked it. I think if you've got Amazon Prime or access to it, it's worth a watch. You know, Prime can be very hit or miss. It's just like any other streaming services.
The big problem I have with Amazon Prime, and I've got it because my flatmate pays for it, is I'll put something on, and then you've got to have Prime Plus if you don't want commercials. So in other words, you've got to pay them, right?
That doesn't really bother me.
It bothers me because if I'm watching Netflix, I can watch something with no commercials. If I'm watching this and I've just got into bed and I want to veg, and I'm not on my phone, and I put this on, and 2.5 minutes of commercials are coming on, I'm turning over to Netflix. Because I know there's no commercials there. They are losing business for sure.
Yeah. The other thing that they're quite fond of doing is basically giving you the first season of a show and then saying, "Oh, you want to watch the rest? Now you have to pay."
They're pretty good with movies. I mean, they have this thing where and Amazon's one of them. If it's a movie, they will do they'll be like, hey, watch this one ad, and then the rest of it will be uninterrupted like that. So that, there's that. Now I realize there's a region issue with you guys over there in the UK, so this might not even be available to you.
No, I think this is. I think I've seen it. I mean, I haven't seen the film, but I've seen it advertised. There's about like 5 or 6 action thriller type things that are on Amazon at the minute. That there's 2 or 3 that are created by Amazon.
Okay.
And I've looked at them. Is one of them called The Page? Does that ring bells with anyone? There's
go ahead.
The Steel. There's one called The Steel.
Yes.
And they all look very kind of generic sort of action thriller, but you kind of watch the trailer and you're like, I've seen this film before about 2 years ago, but with some different people in it, and instead of it being set in Malta, it's in Greece or whatever.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff like that that's all just blurring into one for me at the moment.
Sure.
But
yeah, I mean,
hopefully this not the case with this one. Hopefully,
I don't think so. I mean, PI stuff tends to kind of fall into 2 different it's like it's either the femme fatale thing, or it's some sort of like really gripping whodunit type, so you have your Gone Baby Gones, and you have your Chinatowns, and things like that. I think this one falls pretty squarely in the femme fatale region, the hapless PI. I kind of dig the fact that they make him like a millennial hipster. He's not like a grizzled old PI that's seen it all and done it all, although he may have done a little bit. They kind of make him like this. This is exactly what you think he would be, like you can look at him freaking wearing socks. So it's just like, he's just, look at my hat, my shaggy goatee, half beard crap. And so people don't take him super seriously until they do. So I kind of liked it. Like I said, I have a weak spot for PI films or TV shows. And I thought this was good for what it is. And it's always great to see Shailene Woodley naked. I mean, she just does not care. She will just get naked at anything. They're just like, hey, we get a soap commercial, and she's like, can I take my top off? And they're like, yes. So she's great about that. So I thought she did a really good job with it.
What's your rating out of 10 for this, and what do you rate the Beauty so far out of 10?
Sure. I'll give the Beauty a tentative 8 right now. It's only 3 episodes in, so it could certainly poop the bed, so to speak. I hope that it doesn't. I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm glad you turned me on to it. It's very interesting, and he does look a little like Russell Brand. I agree.
Which is not a good look right now.
No, well, depending. I'll give this a 7 only because I did kind of see some of the stuff coming. I probably wouldn't watch it again except certain scenes. But it's definitely a good recommend.
Okay.
Right.
All right, we're gonna turn back to 1978 now, and to a movie that I forgot even existed, and we know who's the man to talk about those movies that we forgot even existed or didn't even know were there in the first place. That would be the inside man who's going to tell us about Brass Target. Jump in, my friend.
Brass Target, 1978, starring George Kennedy as one of my heroes, George S. Patton, John Cassavetes, Sophia Loren, Max von Sydow. So it begins with $250 million worth of Nazi gold bullion that has suddenly gone astray somewhere. And John Cassavetes' character is assigned to find out what's happened to this gold, because the similarities between this robbery and something that he was involved with whilst working alongside the Italian partisans were quite well, very, very similar, in fact, almost identical. So he was on his way home, and he's been reassigned to investigate. But he uncovers something a little bit more sinister, which is the assassination attempt on George S. Patton. So everything is linked, and there's a real conspiracy between a lot of the American officers and the Nazis and various banking organizations to get this gold out of the country. But there's also another fly in the ointment, which is the Italian mafia as well. So we have the Italian mafia involved. I won't say exactly which character it is because I don't want to give too much away, but it's a really interesting story. I mean, it's partly based on fact, so hence the missing Nazi gold is the mysterious circumstances in which George S. Patton had died, and they were very, very mysterious. The people involved that were involved in the accident had disappeared. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody knew who this the vehicle that they were driving or had parked up. They didn't know the origins of the vehicle, and obviously George Patton does die. But it's a really intriguing mystery, come conspiracy. It could be. It certainly is a plausible explanation as to why Patton was killed. Really interesting film. Some great acting, though. I mean, beautifully directed. Really intriguing story. But John Cassavetes is just, a genius actor. It was quite incredible watching him. I mean, the difference between you look at John Cassavetes in any of the roles that he's played, including the stuff that he's directed himself. For example, the last time John Cassavetes and George Kennedy were together in a movie was, in fact, The Dirty Dozen. And neither of them looked any different in this movie, considering this was 10 years after. But he's a very interesting actor, very interesting character actor. And it's a great shame that we didn't see more from him, that he passed away way, way, way too soon. But it's a great film. Absolutely loved it. I thought I'd seen it. Excuse me. I thought I'd seen it, but I hadn't. Turned out I hadn't seen this movie, and I'm pleased that I watched it. Great film. Really, really great film. I'd recommend it to anybody who's into their sort of investigations, a little bit of conspiracy theories, and anyone who's into their history as well.
I love the way that Max von Sydow here, for some reason, is like going for a Chuck Norris look.
Yeah.
In this movie, like I looked at the poster and I was like, looks like Chuck Norris in there. Yeah.
But he was great in it. It's a very, very sinister character. Very sinister. You kind of although he's not in it all the way through, you kind of feel his presence right the way through this movie. The scenes that he's not in, you know that he is there. He's lurking around somewhere. And that, I think, is the mark of the well-written character, that you feel that they're there without them actually being in the scenes.
Right.
You know, so there could be 20 minutes between each of his scenes, and you still know that he's there. You still feel his presence. It's just terrific bit of acting from all of them. And of course, Sophia Loren looks stunning as always.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch this. Is it available on YouTube, or have you just got a
I got myself a physical copy.
Right. Who's doing that? Which company is it that are doing those?
I would have to look at the label. I think it's possibly Arrow. I think.
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
But it's a lovely copy. Really, really, really nicely transferred print. You know, straight from the original 35mm negative.
Rating out of 10.
It blew me away, so I can't give it anything less than a 10. I just seem to be chucking 10s around whenever I really enjoy a movie, but it stuck with me. And the reason being is I want to watch it again. I want to watch this. I'd like to watch this sooner rather than later. It really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, great.
Has anybody seen the new Chris Pratt film, Mercy? It's currently No. Anyone? Bueller?
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, I haven't seen it either, so we'll move on. Northern.
Yes, at the moment, last Saturday, I rewatched Millennium Actress by Satoshi Kon, and for anyone who doesn't know, it's a anime Stupenzolicious because we did a stream on it, and Satoshi Kon is one of those directors who really only did a few movies, but they're all masterpieces, in my honest opinion. I've seen them all, and Millennium Actress is no exception. It's really just about this director with his cameraman trying to make a documentary on an actress who pretty much became reclusive for a few years, but she had a really great body of work, and it always seemed to reflect around this World War II hero went AWOL, and she was always kind of looking for him and hoping she'll find him, but never could. And when he interviews her, he kind of gets drawn into her flashbacks and the movie she's with as well, and you kind of questioning is he actually going into the flashbacks with her, because the cameraman seems to be reacting to it all, but then it cuts back to him reenacting the scenes with her in the living room, like people pretending. And it's definitely if you've seen a Satoshi Kon movie, you know he's very good at sort of playing with reality a little bit. And Paprika is another one where he really does play with reality, making you wonder if it's the dream or if it's starting to bleed into reality itself. But Millennium Actress is really good, sort of talking about how the war's affected a child with who's also in love with this guy who she could never have as well. But it also kind of leads to this very kind of emotionally kind of tragic ending that's kind of got this this optimism to it as well, where it wasn't just about finding this person, it was searching for him that made the journey worth going through. And I don't really want to say too much more because it really is hard to pinpoint. You watch this movie, you will know what I mean, but it's very funny, it's very emotional, and it's very touching, and it's very poignant, and that's all I can say about this movie. It's beautifully animated, well written, and the characters are just so fucking endearing. It's It's really underrated. I mean, most of Satoshi Kon's movies are very underrated, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, it clearly wasn't all you could say because you were still going.
I know, but I'm not even kind of really touched the surface of it, because that's how crazy this film is.
What would you give it out of 10? Because that is something else you can say about it. Rating out of 10.
Well, I kind of got to give it a 10 out of 10. It's something I rarely do.
It's another 10. Has anyone else seen it?
No, I've not seen this one.
I think I have seen it because scrolling through the shots, if I remember rightly, this director has made about 6 movies. Is that right? Something like that.
He died very young. And so I've seen it. He can talk your ear off about it.
I think the National Theatre did a season of his films, and I think I went to see 2 of them. This is it was quite a while ago now. It would have been in the early 2000s that this season happened, around like 2004 or something like that. And I'm almost certain that this is one of the 2 films that I saw, which was the only time I'd been to see a Japanese animation movie apart from Akira and apart from Studio Ghibli. And this was the other guy. And I recognize a couple of the images, but because this would have been before I had my brain hemorrhage, so I can't remember anything more than that. But a couple of those images definitely stayed with me, and I think this was one of the films I saw. Enzo, did you want to add anything about it because you've seen it as well? Oh, I'm eating. What's happening?
Okay. Talking about Millennium Actress, the film that you recommended.
I'm muted. I've been muted. I've been muted this whole time.
That's why.
Yes, no, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. We talked about it. Like I was going to say, just watch me and Luke talk about all the Satoshi Kon movies, or at least 3 of them, 4 of them. How many did we do? We did Tokyo Godfathers. We did Perfect Blue.
Just haven't talked about Paranoid Agent because that's the only one I haven't seen. But that's a show.
That's the one that it doesn't. It's his weakest thing for sure, but it's still pretty good. But it's a great one. It's a movie for people who like movies. It's a movie about movies. It's a movie just like Paprika and Perfect Blue. It's very much about your identity and reality, and
it does that a lot. Doesn't it?
So is Paprika actually about Paprika?
No.
Twice? No.
So basically, I think we talked about this on Luke's channel, but like the trilogy of so Perfect Blue is like dealing with the the double identity of your public and private self. Paprika is all about like your dreams, and what that comes from, and then Millennium Actress is about like your past, reflecting about your past life and your experiences and stuff. It's
that you can watch them as a trilogy, even though they're very much separate movies. You could watch them as a trilogy.
Yep, you could,
and that would be quite enjoyable. Fantastic. Thanks for recommending those. I still need to watch Tokyo Godfathers.
It is the best Christmas movie ever. I've said it for the past 2 years, or past 2 Christmases on this show.
Right. Third time's the charm. This Christmas, the whole panel will have seen it.
Tokyo Godfathers is probably his most straightforward movie because, like I said, the others kind of play with reality a little bit.
Yeah. Goes for the surreal thing, doesn't he?
Right.
But Godfathers is much more straightforward, and it's very bleak, but at the same time, it's very funny and it's very optimistic as well. There's kind of this hope to the very bleak tone.
Cancer, yeah, I figured it would be something like that. And sometimes he includes a spoof of Akira Kurosawa's films or Kurosawa himself. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think he had one more movie as well, but it never happened, sadly.
Right, that's a shame. Well, check out the movies of Satoshi Kon. Anna, you must have seen these.
I haven't, actually. People
my
think I should know everything about anime for some reason, and I don't.
Well, no, I mean, see, I don't really like anime a lot, but anime movies, I'll check out a few. But yeah,
Hang on,
Satoshi Kon, man, he's like one of the best directors ever. He just happens to make anime movies.
I have to qualify.
No, these are on the list.
It's not that we expect you to know about anime. It's that we expect you to know absolutely everything about Japan, including anime.
Including Godzilla's shoe size.
Yeah, exactly. In all the different movies, from all the different actors that have played Godzilla in a suit. You've got to. If you didn't know that level of minutia, I would be disappointed.
I'm a fake Japan fan. What can I say?
Well,
you call yourself an otaku.
I feel you make up for it with your horse mastery waffling on all things horses whenever horses are mentioned. So we'll do more horsey movies for sure.
You really don't have to dive into the horses.
Black
Most
Beauty
people
rather than
care a
the
bit.
Beauty.
Well, we are going to be doing Two Towers and also Return of the King in the same fashion that we did Fellowship on Sunday. It's a bit of a last-minute thing. I decided I'm going to do a Chew the Fat, and I wanted to do a Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, but I didn't just want to do another stream where I had a panel on where we just talked about how great Fellowship of the Ring was. So what we did instead was we talked about how great the art department and the design and the costumes of Fellowship of the Ring were, of which Anna has a fountain of knowledge that's far superior to my own.
John Howe and somebody Lee?
Alan Lee.
Alan Lee.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, visuals. But yeah, just fantastic stuff.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things. Great things about Physical is the commentary on those films where they split it up, and they did one with those people.
No,
it was so good.
Yeah, I mean, all those commentaries are great fun.
Oh, they are. They really are. I got so many little nuggets of information, including the actors' ones, and they're normally quite blasé and boring, but it's great.
I like.
No, you get. With the extended disc, you get 4 commentary tracks per disc.
Yep.
You get the actors, you get Peter Jackson, Fran Welsh, Philippa Boyens is talking about the writing, and then you get art direction with it's not just John Howe and Alan Lee. I think Dan Hanna, the production designer, a bunch of other people, and then you have one that's the What a Workshop people. So it's Richard Taylor and Ed Dixon, and so you get 4
Richard Taylor
hours. Oh yeah, he's head of Weta. He still is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you get 4 commentary tracks for each film. You could get so much, and people have so much to say. It's wonderful.
I've watched them all. I love it. It's brilliant. It's one of my favourite ways to absorb information.
And the other one is by the process shown on The Beauty. Okay, I'm going to mention this oldie. We have talked about it on the channel before. 1978 Coma, the movie, based on the best-selling book by Michael Crichton. This film is actually also directed by Michael Crichton. In fact, I think it's the first movie that he directed.
I think he did Westworld before this, didn't he?
Oh, is that right? He did.
Yeah,
it was
he directed
Westworld
before this.
The success of Westworld that got this green lit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this is one of Inside Man's picks. I mean, I'll just say by way of introduction that I watched it about a year ago, and I still find it as atmospheric, as thrilling, as gripping, and as creepy as I did when I've watched it the first time. The first time I saw it, I was really young. I think I have a feeling Inside Man, it was part of that hot BBC Two horror season.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think it was on BBC Two. Yeah.
BBC Two, 9 o'clock. I think it was Friday. And they did Halloween, they did The Fog, they did this. There was about 6 or 7 other movies, and I tried to watch them all. Carrie was another one.
Yeah.
And this was like, it was the first time I'd ever seen it, and oh my god, it creeped the shit out of me, especially after you see them murder Magnum PI.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but over to you, mate. Jump in.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is where I remember this from. Is when I was a kid, the book was always lurking around the house, and it had a very creepy cover.
It did, didn't it? Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember the
very
cover.
very creepy cover, and I remember my my sister and brother-in-law, they went to see the movie, and when they come back, you know, because I was always interested in any movies that I wasn't old enough to go and see, to get a running commentary of the movie whenever any of my family members had seen it. So and my sister said, you know, it's really, you know, it's one of those movies. She put it, I thought, really well. She said, do you remember when you first saw Jaws and you didn't want to go into the sea to have a swim? She said, well, this really makes you not want to go to hospital, just in case. But it's, so we have this, I think it's the Boston Memorial Hospital. So we have Genevieve Bujold and Michael Douglas, both doctors working there. Genevieve Bujold and Michael Douglas have a little bit of a fractured relationship. So she's having a sort of an aerobics class. She has a best friend who has fallen pregnant, and she doesn't want her husband to know, so she's going in to have a termination. And it's a standard procedure. So she goes into this operating theatre. She's petrified naturally. And something goes drastically wrong in the theatre, and they can't revive her, so she falls into a coma. Now, Genevieve Bujold, Dr. Wheeler, she suspects that something is not quite right because she's a perfectly healthy young woman. Her best friend was a perfectly healthy young woman, and she decides to have a little bit of a delve and an investigation of how many people have succumbed to coma during operation in the hospital over the course of a year. She discovers a list of something like 249 people have suddenly fallen into a coma after their operations. And she becomes slightly paranoid. You believe that she is slightly paranoid because the information that she's gathered is not information that she is legally privy to. So she is called into the office by Richard Widmark, who runs the hospital, and he says, I understand that you're a little bit traumatized and everything. Have some time off, but of course, as things progress, more and more of these instances start to happen. And I really don't want to go into too much detail because if you haven't seen the movie, and as Lance said, it's incredibly gripping. I've seen this a few times, and watching this a couple of days ago, it absolutely gripped me. I mean, my heart was thudding. I was still on the edge of my seat watching it at various crucial moments.
That's good.
It's a great film. It's a great film. And you mentioned earlier about the Jerry Goldsmith score as well, I think. Yeah. Lance had mentioned that there's a similarity between the Goldsmith score in this and that of the Cassandra Crossing, which is absolutely spot on. They're very, very similar scores with little kind of bits of Alien thrown in there somewhere, little bits of The Omen you can hear. It's a very haunting score, and there's some incredibly creepy, unnerving, unsettling moments in this movie. And if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's terrific. It's a terrific film.
Quite an early performance from Michael Douglas as well. This is kind of back in the days when he was just starting to do movies. I think this was one of his first. He was still doing Streets of San Francisco.
He was, that's right,
it's a good performance from him. But Richard Widmark, this is one of his best performances.
I agree.
And again, don't want to give too much away. Is it just me and Inside Man that have seen this, or is anyone else on the panel?
No, I don't think I have seen Coma, to be honest.
Wow. Well, that's
a treat.
Seen a lot of his other films, but I've not seen this one. I'm trying to.
I mean, this is a 9 out of 10 movie for me, and it's. I've watched it not that long ago. Is it called the Jefferson Institute?
The Jefferson Institute. That's correct. Yeah.
Jefferson Institute. So there's this building. This is the inside of the Jefferson Institute, which sort of comes into play in the story. And the way that they frame and film this building and then atmospherically every time it cuts to a shot of it, you've got this horrible sort of piano music with it. It makes it so creepy. And I found the location for that. I think that we talked about this before when we were talking about top 10 horror movies or something.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I think it was a few years ago. Yeah.
I think it was 2 Halloweens ago. When this was released, it was very much considered to be a horror film.
Yeah.
Rip Torn is really creepy in this as well.
Rip Torn's great, yeah.
Very creepy in this. And it's up there. It's. I mean, apart from the fact that obviously the technology and stuff have aged in it, it's still, in terms of just the story and the script and the characters, it really stands out. Stands up. But I tracked that location on Google Earth, and you can get quite close to it. And I remember getting it on the stream.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it. But
has anybody seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place?
Yes.
Oh, don't get me started.
I was just thinking that the Harry Rhodes character, Dr. Morland, looks almost exactly like one of the characters from that.
And the good thing about Garth Marenghi is that it did rip off from so many different medical dramas.
This is what I was just wondering. If you did based on this.
The surprising thing about this is, and it did surprise me, is that it's an incredibly modern story.
It is.
I can't even say what it is. I wish I could say, when you get to a certain point, and a certain character makes a certain monologue, it's a very, very modern story.
And then you've got that dialogue between those two working blue collar guys who were kind of just doing their job and talking about that bit.
Yeah, that's really good actually. In the mortuary. Yeah, it's really good.
That's a clever moment.
Very, very smart. But you can tell that Michael Crichton was a medical guy. I mean, obviously with ER and a number of his other medical novels that he's written, his medical thrillers that he's written. And this is very technically medical. You can tell. I mean, it adds, his knowledge, obviously, of being a surgeon. Has really added to the reality, the gravitas of this story, I think.
Yeah. Well, I found it, and it's not as creepy as it used to be. But when you see this place in the movie, and by the way, it was a Xerox center at the time of filming. It was selling like loads of Xerox machines. So this is now Mimecast, whatever the hell that is. But this is the Jefferson Institute in the film. But in the film, see this entrance walkway and everything? That's not there. And none of these trees are here. And it's just like this grey building with these windows that you can't see into, that's surrounded by like this really steep grass moat. So it's almost like there's no way in, there's no way out. And it's not a building that's designed to be accessed by people. It's like a character in the movie, and
it is.
Like the Amityville house, in the Amityville. This takes on a similar role in the narrative of the movie Coma, and it's fucking creepy as.
Yeah, it is creepy.
It would be interesting for the other members of the panel to go away and watch it and tell us what you think about it next week.
Interesting. I will watch it for next week. Not a problem.
I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it because. I mean, it's very difficult for see with myself and Lance, because obviously we're at a very similar age, and I am considerably older than Lance.
10 years gap. Similar. Two decades, but we're there. We're near each other.
We're close. We're closer in age than the rest of the panel are with us. Put it that way. See, this is a movie that's from our youth, and because your youth is considerably further away from our youth, you have that sort of familiarity and affection for films from your youth. But I would be interested to know what you think.
Yeah, sure.
This is a
film that was actually made before I was born, which is more and more of a rarity these days. So, yeah,
Well, I
I'll
mean,
check it
I
out.
always say that there are more movies made before I was born than they have been since I was born, and I intend to catch up with as many of those ones as I possibly can.
Cool.
Yeah, well, there we are. So yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 from me. I imagine.
Yeah,
it's-
same here.
Yeah,
Same here. Yeah, great.
And this is also very true. Wasn't the log line for this poster? Sometimes you might not wake up, or something like that.
It sounds familiar. It sounds
Yeah.
familiar, but I'm tempted to actually try and get a copy of the book now. Get a physical copy of the book.
That used to be in our house for like, you know, I remember it was in the house for forever.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to it. It was proper beaten up because everybody had read it.
Yeah.
Here's the tagline from the poster. Imagine your life hangs by a thread. Imagine your body hangs by a wire. Imagine you're not imagining.
That's the other thing I want
Yeah.
back. I want voiceover guy back. I'm so sick of these generic trailers we get these
Yes,
days.
same here. I was
In a
talking about this
world.
the other day, actually, to a couple of
The
people.
God voice. The voice of God. He tells you to go see the movie.
The
Go
voice.
see the
Exactly.
movie or be smited.
Yeah.
I try not to watch trailers now because
No, same here.
you know,
Oh, they're awful.
Wait.
sometimes I'll see one and it's like, well, there's no point seeing the movie now.
Exactly. Yeah. I call them the betrayal.
Yeah, you know, it's not a Chuck
Or
Norris.
sometimes you'll see a trailer and then you go and see the film and it's absolutely nothing to do with it at all. It's just a completely different genre almost. You've been hoodwinked.
Indeed. We're nearly at that time where it's time for Anna's archaeological fact of the week. But before
You
we
need a
get-
little jingle. You need a little sort of da-da-da-da-da-da kind of thing.
I'm working on a drop video for that. That's coming. But do we have a different spider to look at this week, or is that not possible?
Amazon have screwed me over. I cannot be on camera, unfortunately. I'm waiting for something to turn up, and then I'll get back on camera, and I will have a lovely new spider for you. Yes.
I mean, you're in some sort of strange fetish outfit, and therefore can't be seen.
Damn it! Rumbled.
You've
I
got
was
half
hoping
of
that
it
meant
on,
you've
but-
got a lovely
rest of
spider perched on your shoulder for the whole stream, just sitting there waiting for her moment. Just sitting there.
Yeah.
They
with her.
behave. But I've got a few species that will absolutely not behave, but most of the South American species are pretty good.
Right.
If it's New World, it's generally going to behave. If it's from Asia or Africa,
Question
it's
is-
probably going to try and kill you.
How many species live in Owl's beard? That question and others to be answered next time. Okay, well, let's do the rounds. Stupenzolicious, where are you at with your subs now, man? What? Oh, is it, do we
What?
still have? Yeah,
I'm having some Mexican food.
What'd you
Stupenzolicious.
ask me?
I said, where are you at with your subscribers? What number are you at?
770 something. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's not bad.
Slowly gaining a little bit every day or so. What do I got now?
I'll try and get
770
I'll try and get you to
exactly.
walk in on
You're getting a every time I catch you on my Monday morning, your Sunday evening. You've got a pretty loyal little audience there tuning in now.
Yeah, I got a good crowd on the live streams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Wii watches are what I like doing best, though.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, the live streams are
Beautiful.
fun as well. I don't know. I've just been hanging out.
When is the next move? When's the next drop of a film coming out from that guy who makes the strange superhero falling in a pool, winning spandex films?
So
Supergirl,
yeah,
part
Jonathan
25.
Rios's Supergirl fanfic drowning fetish videos that we did stumble upon 2 Decembers ago. We watched all 40 of those episodes and we caught up to real time. He started making those like 13 years ago, and now here we are, 2025. It's like we thought there was going to be. He has apparently 3 or 4 more to make. And they're in the works.
Didn't you arrange for like loads of people to meet
Yes.
on the live stream so that suddenly
So he did. So he premiered the last one last year at some point, and we did have like 25 people like in the premiere, and he was like there in the chat, like, "Whoa, who are you people?" And
brilliant.
I was saying like, "Yeah, we all love these movies," and Yeah, he apparently wants to. He's trying to get funding now to get the last 4 made, because it's not, it's
Why
it's
is
a
it-
pipe
is it-
dream, and also I think
It's the
the
wife
actress who
charging him
plays.
access to the lounge and the pool now, which is where most of the films take place, or what's going on there?
So I know that he's in New York, and he's the one it's all his vision. But the people who actually make the show, who have the house and have the Superwoman and all them and the costumes, they all live in Florida.
All right.
And they have that famous house that we see all the episodes, all the pools. So yeah, I don't know. Apparently, there's like health issues with the woman that's playing Superwoman, Linda Hines. There's also
Too much chlorine, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's her
don't know. I hope they happen. John, problematic John, he actually reminded me I should reach out to Jonathan Rios and try to get him on the show. I don't know if that would be cool or not. I don't know.
I'm not sure if we need to look into that guy's mind. I don't know.
It depends how strange he turns out to be, and the answer might be quite strange, actually. But hey,
Yeah,
let's
but the
see.
show, my show's it's becoming pretty funny where it's just when it's just me. Like last Sunday we had a show and we started early and we eventually had a big panel of people come on. But man, lately it's just like the funniest shit we ever do is when it's just me and Dudicus dicking around watching weird crap on YouTube. We were watching the Floby commercial for the 30-minute paid advertisement for that. And it ended up being the Floby episode. We talked about the Floby for like 3 hours.
Hang
we
on,
came up with this whole
what's a
idea.
Floby?
A Floby.
The Floby is that vacuum cleaner that cuts your hair.
It cuts your hair.
Yeah.
What? Did I miss something?
It's
I mean, to be
from
fair,
the
I've not
80s.
in like 8 years. I
So-
missed something.
Yeah, I was joking that basically this guy wanted to invent a vacuum cleaner you couldn't have sex with, and he just kind of happened to invent a haircut machine. He didn't realize what he was inventing when he did it. But what's interesting is there's like some updates. We joked about Flobies for 3 or 4 hours. This 30-minute video, we really stretched it out. But then I found out some updates. Apparently, this is new to me because we did realize the Floby website's still a thing. They have a phone number. They're located in Corpus Christi, apparently. In fact, I should call them next show and order a Floby. But here's what's crazy. I did not know this. During the pandemic, this is a joke commercial.
Haircuts. Introducing the
Do you hate your family and want to embarrass them? Get a
Get that
Floby.
freshly
Ha ha ha.
sucked hair you've
But here's
always
what's crazy.
dreamed of
George
without leaving the
Clooney,
house.
during the pandemic, was saying that he has a Floby and he's used the Floby religiously since the 80s. He's been a faithful Floby user.
This is real?
I
Yeah.
don't believe
Yes.
he cuts his own hair.
No, yes, he uses Floby. That's how his hair always stays. The whole point of the Floby is you cut your hair like every week. You don't need to spend a bunch of money going to the barbershop if you just have the
He
as long
has
as you
all
know
the
how
money.
long you. Yeah,
He
so
has a team in charge of his hair.
No, but the
There's no
point
way he
is, like,
uses
when you have a
Floby.
Floby, you can just sit on the couch and cut your hair because it's a vacuum. It picks up all the hair. This is the guy who invented it. He's the
Guys, this
weirdo
did
that
not
wants-
make it over to the UK, did it?
It
I have
did.
never
It did.
But here's what's
It did.
It
crazy.
might go to the UK.
It
Yeah.
did.
So Wayne's World
Yeah.
parodied it with the suck vac, right? The vacuum
Yeah,
suck or
yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
The suck cut. Yes, it certainly does suck. And I think that kind of made the Floby a joke. But here's what's crazy is during the pandemic, George Clooney said that he uses Floby. He's been using the Floby since the 80s or 90s. He loves it.
Yeah.
And it was a big solution to the fact that all the hair salons were closed. So a lot of people,
Yeah,
Floby
yeah.
saw this resurgence like 5 years ago, and people are using them again. So this is
You see
very
these
interesting.
products, these weird products. See, I'm quite glad that Enzo is firmly plugged into these weird and odd things that seem to be on the internet. But
Yeah, well, when Hulk Hogan died, we found out that he did the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Grill. Apparently, he was the one that they first approached before George Foreman. They said, hey, we want to make a grill. And he said, no. And then George Foreman did it, and then the George Foreman grill was a legend. So then he decided, wait a minute, I should make a grill. And, we were making fun of this grill commercial. But here's what's funny. Like 15 minutes into the commercial, we were all like, dude, I want the Hogan Ultimate Grill. It's so much better than the Foreman grill. Like, you've sold me on this grill. I want it. Apparently, you can't buy it anymore because of fire hazards and stuff it was causing. It was short circuiting and.
But in the 70s, and 80s, we used to have these commercials for things like the Flobies, and Lance will remember. Do you remember coming up to Christmas, Lance? You'd have all these weird gadgets that were advertised by K-Tel.
Yeah, the Black & Decker Workmate was the big one, wasn't it? That was always.
You had. It was like these strange little. They were like little gadgets, like the record cleaner. So you get your vinyl records and put them into this thing, and of course it'd spin around and supposedly clean your records. But of course, most of what it did was jettison your record halfway across the room and embed itself into your bedroom door. So they
could have done with one of those during Shaun of the Dead, couldn't they?
Yeah.
See, I love.
But they used to have these weird gadgets. You know.
Well, because we would stay up late, right? And unless you had HBO or something, staying up late meant, because you had TV, and then at a certain time, around 1 or 2 in the morning, all the channels, most of the good channels, just started doing paid programming, which was like, imagine these stupid commercials for the grills and the haircut things, but the commercials are 30 minutes long. A 30-minute long baby bullet commercial. And it's just like, it's a commercial for a blender. It's like, I get it. I'm going to buy a blender. There's knives and all kinds of stuff. But that was so stupid because, like, around those times in the 90s, like, if you were up late, that's pretty much whatever was on. If you were blessed to have some paid channels, then that's fine. But otherwise, you're going to be stuck watching paid programming late night.
Okay, let's check this out. This is a K-Tel commercial, the sort that Inside Man was talking about, for Miracle Clean.
K-Tel introduces Miracle Clean, one of Europe's leading cleaners. Watch how Miracle Clean makes this scorched iron shine like new. Miracle Clean makes the ugliest burnt cookware sparkle again. And look what it does to this oven door. Months of burnt grease cleaned so easily.
Do they brag that you can eat
Miracle
it
Clean
and
is enough to remove stubborn food stains. And it even cleans burnt milk from stovetops so fast and easy. Outdoor furniture, no problem with Miracle Clean. Wipe away winter neglect in minutes. It even makes porcelain sinks shine again. Miracle Clean makes all your mirrors
I wouldn't use like my bare hand with that stuff.
It makes rust spots disappear in
wearing
seconds and puts the sparkle back into expensive alloy wheels. Miracle Clean cuts cleaning time and cleaning costs. Environment safe and kind to your hands. With this special TV offer, you get not one, not two, but 3 Miracle Clean. More than a year's supply for all your cleaning needs. To place your
Can I clean my
That's the kind of
fleshlight with
thing
it?
that you'd see in like Wilco's and B&Q. You'd see a product on the shelf, and then they'd have a little video playing for it as well. Okay,
that's
I get it.
But they actually used a Floby. I don't know whether you remember Sam Bell used a Floby in Moon when Sam Rockwell was sitting there. And
So that was the interesting thing about the commercial was he was talking about prisons, nursing homes, military. Like, this is the actual applications we could have for a Floby. The idea that you could give yourself a quick haircut and have no hair on the ground, it's one of those things where it reminds me of the horrifically smelled poo spray liquid ass. They invented this stuff called liquid ass, and you spray it and it just smells awful, and it's like a joke. But then they found out, people were like, it smells like the inside of like a dead body or something, like when you open it up. And they realized like what they could do is they could use it to train like medical professionals. Like when you're going to open up one of these bodies, you're going to be hit with this like intense odor. So like, yeah, when they operate on those fake like dummy cadavers, they do spray it with liquid ass. So now liquid ass is literally a medical product. The medical field buys huge boatloads of it so they can train people. Same thing with the military and everything. It's crazy. It's just like the Floby. The guy wanted to invent a vacuum you couldn't have sex with by putting razors in it, and he realized, hey, this could cut hair. It was like a unintended consequence, Obviously, I'm joking. Anna's making this face like I might be telling the truth. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm just thinking morticians and medical professionals. That must be why they get paid the big bucks. Because oh my god, you can never.
Oh yeah, and it's a business that'll never go out. They'll always need people to deal with dead bodies. I feel like it's something I can do.
I deal with dead bodies. Very, very long dead bodies.
They're wild. Wow, you can really.
Yeah, like all that stuff doesn't really gross me out. I feel like I should maybe I have a career opportunity to work in a mortuary or be like a homicide detective or something.
Easy to control. Supersized Just slide. One size fits all ages. Lightweight. Just skip a pill and you're ready for more thrills. And great fresh air fun. Streak. Now you're a Super Slider rider. $2.99. Super Slider.
Someone die, please.
Basically, that's a massive piece of plastic that you strap to your feet by very precarious looking means.
We have super sliders at home, and it's just some kid like using trash can lids or whatever.
That's quite charming, actually. I'm sure they had a number of lawsuits from kids cracking their heads on ice, but
no, because back then, if you got hurt, it was your kid's fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shake it off, stop crying, get back out there. Unless obviously they're unconscious or something, in which case, there might be.
That's why we had a generation of kids that actually grew up to be men.
Yep.
well, that's what you get. You get the liquid ass for, to wake them up from their coma.
Let me show you one of the best liquid ass things I've seen. Hang on. Where is it? Go ahead, say what you were going to say. This will take a second.
No.
I did send you those thumbnails, by the way.
Oh, have you sent them to me? Oh, I'll check them out. Thank you.
Stupid.
Is that
stupid?
I take it did you remember to send them to me via Twitter? Oh, good, yeah, as opposed to.
Yeah, I mean, how can I say I can't send them to you on Facebook? I get message failed. Like if I try to send you something on Facebook.
I hate to tell you this, your Facebook profile just doesn't exist at the moment.
It's dead, Jim.
I'm aware. Oh, Anna, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love the thumbnail that Enzo has created for us. I'm gonna replace the other one immediately. This is wicked. Look at this. Dun, da, 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 da. Yeah, that's really, you look pretty good as an elf. You look
They turned you into a shelf.
The funny thing is that my hair.
Is this the long hair you had in your youth?
Yeah, except mine was longer than yours in your picture there.
Lance's mullet. Lance should bring back the mullet.
Lanceless.
I'm afraid my hair is going the way of the inside man. It's starting to fall out now.
Yeah, mine's more Aragorn.
Yeah,
it's Aragon.
Yours is more Gorn, like Stark.
It's just gone.
Like that one. What have you got for us?
Oh yeah, this is here. Check it out. Liquid ass.
Great job, Enzo. That's a lovely thumbnail.
It was good. Yeah, no problem. I made it in 5 minutes. While you guys were talking about whatever. Here.
Nice to know you put some effort into it.
Are they in a deer blind?
If I had to put effort into it, I would charge Lance money.
How long have you been doing this, Enzo? How long have you been sort of working? I'm assuming this is all Photoshop.
It's a double speed.
We've got to get into this video.
I like Photoshop.
Oh, sorry.
Explain what's happening, because I've
been doing it for like 20 years. All right, here we go. These two guys are in a deer hunting. What are they called? A hideout? What are they called?
Deer blind.
Yeah,
hunting out.
A deer blind.
Yeah, thank you. Deer blind. Thank you. They're in a deer blind, and this guy's gonna spray liquid ass, and his friend right here does not realize what's happening. So you're supposed to only spray it like once or twice. This guy, he's sprayed like fucking 10 times.
What does this spray do again?
It's basically stink spray.
Wait.
Oh, no! Oh, my God! I gotta get out of here! Shit! Out of my way!
He's like gagging. So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad stuff. It doesn't just smell like a fart. You know what I mean? It smells like you're dying. Oh my God! If that came out of you should go to an emergency room. It's like one of those smells. Like what?
Smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food.
It literally smells like it came out of a corpse, like a corpse fart. And I think that's why the medical field was like, hang on a second. This smells familiar. we could use this spray. What is it made out of? It's a trade secret. We're never telling, but we'll sell you gallons of it at an inflated price because you were, the medical field, the entire medical industry.
Yeah. So is that it? Is that the only one we have?
That's the best one. That's the best one. We can't start at the steak and then work our way down to the salad. No.
Okay. Fantastic. What else have you got coming up on your channel?
Well, I'm re-releasing a bunch of movies I took down because of copyright nonsense for safety reasons. And everything's legit now. Everything's safe. Everything's cool. So I'm re-uploading a bunch of old stuff plus some new ones. I got Splice and Charles Bronson's Assassination in the works. We're gonna
the Canon movie, right?
That one. Yeah, those are some new ones that I'll be editing. I'm also going to be editing and re-releasing some old ones. I'm also going to be re-releasing some full-length ones that I took down. So tomorrow is going to be Trey Parker, Matt Stone, Cannibal the Musical, in honor of the big snowstorm we had here. Alfred Packer is a Western pioneer traveling in a wagon or whatever, and he ends up eating all of his compadres because of avalanches and snowstorms. So
I've seen it.
It's a very funny movie.
Release over here, funnily enough.
So it's me and Sammy Threepeat and Eclectic Goat watched that one. I think Blue Collar also joined us, and it's a full-length Trey Parker funny movie. So it'll be fun. And I think the week after that, I'm going to be re-releasing Time Rider with Fred Ward, which was one of the first. I think that was like the third WeWatch we ever did. And it was hilarious because it's basically Back to the Future 1 and 3 in one movie, but it came out before Back to the Future in 1982. And it's about this guy, Fred Ward, who's a dirt biker. Apparently motorcycles were like awesome. So this movie's basically an excuse to just film this guy riding around in a motorcycle in the desert for 90 minutes. But he inadvertently steps into an experimental time displacement field and goes back into the cowboy days and may or may not have impregnated his grandmother with his father. I don't know how it worked, but he slept with his grandma. Yeah. A lot of weird movies out there.
You watch some weird shit. You know that.
Well, so we watched Time Rider because it's Fred Ward, and it had a cool, and it was recommended to us. And then we didn't realize like the big twist. We were joking about it, and then that turns out to be the big reveal. And we're like, wait a minute. Also, his grandma is that evil CEO chick from RoboCop 2, Foxy lady. But yeah, it's just funny because what's his name? I can't remember his name. The guy who wants to kidnap E.T., the one who works for the government, what's his name? He's going to take E.T. away. Yeah, Peter Coyote, that's him. He plays like the evil bandit cowboy, and he wants that fancy wheel machine. He feels entitled to own this newfangled motorcycle that they think the devil's riding around because he wears all red. It's a really stupid movie, but the more I think about it, I love it.
It was a pilot for a TV series. It was released on video in the UK. We had that Inside Man. We had that very snazzy kind of orange poster with the bike on the border, and it kind of was.
How could that work as a TV series?
Okay, well, he would go back in time and have adventures. You know, it was originally that was the original concept.
And some more distant relatives.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say how many that he had to actually do that with in order to make sure he existed? It could be a lot of people. So, Northern, you got anything you want to plug, buddy, coming up, or videos you dropped? All right, I think you just dropped another video, right?
Yeah, well, I've just dropped my 28 years later, the Borna Temple, a few days back, and a quick little view on it. It's actually a lot better than the first one. It does have its problems still, but I'll give credit to Nia DaCosta. She does actually, she did actually exceed my expectations.
We talked about it briefly last week. The general consensus was it was pretty good.
So the opening scene in the pool house is great. Oh,
what's that?
You got a new potato, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
It seems to sound a little bit better. I listened to my test stream earlier, so Didn't sound too bad. But yeah, video coming up late. I'm going to try and get Insomnia back on this Friday with Artie if he's available. Inside Man, obviously. And this time, I'm hoping to get Toxic on for that one as well. And I think I had another one. What did I have last time? But anyway, anyone else wants to jump on Insomnia this Friday, you're more than welcome. And next week, I'm going to do Miami Connection because it's definitely one of the my favorite bad movies ever. It's you can tell the guy who did it really had no idea what he was fucking doing. He almost went bankrupt trying to make it, but God, it is a pure disaster piece. It really is. I mean, any semblance of plot just gets thrown out for fight scenes that are very badly choreographed, even though you can tell these guys know what they're doing when it comes to the actual martial arts they use. But the plot is very nonsensical. It's just about a bunch of guys who college students and their master who live in this house together. You know, they're all orphans. They know how to do taekwondo, but they have to take on these biker ninjas in Miami who sell drugs. It makes no fucking sense, and the acting is really bad, especially from Maurice Jones, who finds out that his father wants to get into contact with him, and he does this really big expositional dump as well while acting real badly, going, my father was like North Korean, but I didn't want to see him anymore because he left us, and it goes on for a while. What's it called again? Miami Connection. Watch it.
That was it. Yeah. Miami
Classic.
Yeah. I remember seeing the video cover for this in video stores, and it wasn't this poster. It was a different one. I think this must be a re-release. But
you can get the scene of Maurice Jones acting his ass off. It's hilarious. It really is. I mean, he is trying his best, but God, it's.
What is the song? God damn it. It goes, friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty, we'll stay together through thick or thin. Friends forever, we'll be together. We're on top because we play to win.
He's got a friend in me. God,
so,
I love the songs.
We could go on.
Songs
with that,
are cool.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Dude, the Dragon Sound. Dragon Sound is the name of the band in Miami Connection. They actually have some bangers.
One of the bloody biker ninjas actually hits. It kind of becomes the plot as well. One of the biker ninjas becomes their enemy just because their band is playing the club and his band isn't. It's like, they play bloody music for kids, man. It's like, yeah, well, they play a lot better than you, man. I'm like, what the fuck?
I feel like this was the poster for the cover for the UK release, because I definitely remember this dude, with holding up his gloves. And is this like a cast reunion?
Yeah. I will say this, though, because the cast actually do have some good chemistry. You can tell these people had fun doing this together because, apparently the guy, the Korean guy as well, he's like their trainer as well. They were like his students, and they kind of grew to respect him.
Sorry. The shot is just like, you know what I mean? Hey, look at all the big knobs.
You don't ever make sandcastles in a parking lot?
Brilliant. Anyway, okay, so that's on Friday on Northern English Bastards.
Next Friday.
Friday.
If you don't want to watch the movie, it's on YouTube for free. Check it out. You will not regret it.
Norris can simply walk into Mordor. I'm about to watch Space Ice's video on Invasion USA, which is my favourite Chuck Norris movie of all time. So, okay, cool.
You said Chuck Norris and Space Ice. That is a win for me.
Indeed. Anna, do you have an archaeological fact of the week for us?
Sure, I do. I'll preface by saying you've all seen a little film called Gladiator, right?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty obscure.
Yeah.
I got married to that. I got married to that soundtrack.
Wait, really?
Yeah, as in my wife to be walks down the aisle to that thing. That moment. Yeah, basically
really?
the theme from the Yeah, it's ruined now. Can't listen to it now.
Oh. Well, sorry to bring it up then.
No, that's okay. Gladiator, tell us the connection, because these always
So a
need to be
little
connected.
archaeological discovery was made. It was earlier this month. So it was in Norfolk, in a site in Thetford. They found a Celtic carnix, one of those big boar-headed brass horns that you can see used by the Celtic tribes in the beginning of Gladiator and a number of other films. And it's one of only 3 carnices that's ever been excavated in Britain, and it's the most intact one ever found so far. So this has been huge news. And it was found alongside a boar-headed war standard and a hoard of a whole bunch of brass artifacts. And this is the first war standard of its kind ever found in Britain either. So 2,000 years old. The Romans, of course, were absolutely obsessed with carnices and would take them as war trophies or depict them in their art. And so this one, they can't say for sure at this point that it's connected to the Iceni tribe. Iceni tribe, which was a Celtic tribe connected to Queen Boudica, of course, in her uprising against the Romans. But it's found, it's East Anglia. It's the ancestral territory of them, and the timing is about right. So it was almost certainly known to members of the Iceni tribe. And Lance, if you're able to pull up any pictures of this carnix, because it's so beautifully intact, you've got the bell, the animal-headed part, and the pipe and the mouthpiece all there. So this is really such a wonderful archaeological find, and one of the most significant finds in Britain.
If you're able to pull up the picture yourself, you can do it, and I can share it.
Well, I can't send it to you. Just Google Britain carnix, and you'll find the news. You'll see the photos of it.
Yeah, you don't have to send it to me. You can actually just share it on screen here, because anybody in this chat, anybody on this group can share an image, and then I can put it up on the screen. You see, but
I don't know how to use StreamYards. I'm not going to figure it out on the fly. I'll have to experiment.
All right,
sometime.
well, I'll get into that. No, I know, but you should be. Can you tell me how do I spell it?
Carnyx.
I know where Thetford is, because funnily enough, went to a pub right near there.
It's not far from me, Thetford.
Yeah, CAR. What was the rest?
NYX.
NYX found in. Oh yeah, there we go. Carnix horn. Oh yeah. God, look at that. Wow.
So those are replicas, because it's pulling up reproductions that have been made. But you see that BBC article. You can just click on that where it says rare Iron Age ward trumpet and boar standard found. Most of these are going to be reproductions as well.
I found one for sale on eBay. I suspect it's probably not a real one, but let's get the Wikipedia picture up so people can see what we're talking about. There we go.
No, you could just pull up the one that was found. It's in beautiful shape.
Okay. All right, let's go back to here.
Go back one more.
Was it already here? Was it? Did I miss it?
Yeah. So click on that BBC article right there. It'll pull up the picture.
Oh yeah.
So did you say there's only 3 other carnices of this kind that were found in the area or in the whole of Britain?
Oh, only 2 others found in Britain total.
Wow.
Several of them have been found in the continent because the Romans would take them if they found them. But carnices, they make such an astonishing sound. If you've ever heard them, you can play them really loud, of course, and really chillingly, and quite quiet as well.
Right. I'm quite interested.
And that's the boar-headed war standard, which would just be on a big pole essentially, and it was people would be called to it. Armies would gather around it.
Like it. Starting to discover 2 of the rarest Iron Age objects in the same excavation. Fantastic stuff. All right, good. Like the way you type that into Gladiator as well. More fun film archaeological facts next week. Okay, well, I think that's about it for us this week. Thanks to Toxic, who was on earlier but had to go. Aaron, mod, is on the ball. Look, he'd already put the link up so people can have a look for that. Really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. We're going to be back next Tuesday, same time, 9 p.m. I think, Anna, if you're available, because I think you said you are looking pretty good, we'll probably do the 2 towers on either Sunday or Monday at the same time.
Sure thing.
Both are good. Okay, because I'm going out Saturday, so just depends how late out I am. But I'll create the stream, and if we need to, we'll move it. So yeah, fantastic. Big thanks to my panel, Inside Man, Stupenzo. Really appreciate those thumbnails, of course. Critical and Northern English B-starred. What a lovely bunch of chaps they are. Chaps and chapesses. Shout out to Rachel Percy Art, who is not here this evening. We miss you, Rachel. Hope to see you back on the channel again real soon. I don't know if anybody's got the link to the crowdfunding campaign for her mum. Her mum's quite poorly at the minute, and she's trying to raise some funds for medical bills and things like that. I don't know if anybody's got access to that, because I don't have it. I don't have the link ready available to hand, but I'm quite happy to post it in the chat. If anyone's Northern, have you got the link for that at all? Any chance? No, it's not there. He's in the bog. Okay. Well. Rachel Percy Art can be found on Instagram. So if you go onto Instagram and search Rachel Percy Art, you will find her artwork. So what you could do is you could go and buy a piece of her artwork, which would also be a fantastic way to raise money. All right. That's it from us. We will see you again next week. Hopefully I'll have much the same panel with us again. Until then, that's the end of the Nielsen ratings for today. But we'll be back again real soon. Take care and keep in touch with the people you care about. Don't forget to send me love them. See you soon. Bye.
Welcome to the Nielsen Ratings 2026, where we talk film and TV with oldies in the mix. We chat all things actors from Mel Gibson to Ice Cube, cause at the Outcast Creative we got the coolest panel on YouTube. Every Tuesday evening we start at 9 UK time. We cover all the genres from sci-fi to true crime. Our super cool panel rates the latest releases along with older cool films like The Wild Geese. On the